If you're not making mistakes, then you're not doing anything. I am positive a doer makes mistakes. A quote from the late Coach John Wooden. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, on the Bloc Podcast with Jay, aka Jay Boogie, aka Coach J. And I hope everybody's doing what they gotta do to stay in this quarantine, social distancing, whatever the hell you want to call it, and whatever the hell day it is. Because I think at this point, probably even before this week, everybody's like, blah, open up the city, open up the state, open up everywhere you at, man. So you know what? My heart is with everybody out there. But guess what, guys? We stay in it together. We get out of it together. And it's looking really good. It's positive vibes only, man. Positive vibes only in here. I'm not going to take the whole show to talk about the quarantine effect and all that good stuff. So this is my second episode, ladies and gentlemen. And I appreciate all the feedback I got with episode number 1. And, whether it's good or bad, it just makes me better. It makes me, appreciate you guys for giving me feedback. Because, this is hella hard to do if you're a person that's not used to talking, period. And, I'm a very quiet, as they say, the silent, strong type. So, yeah, this is very hard for me to do. And, I'm trying to not be too critical of myself and try to make this perfect. So I'm just flowing with everything off the dome right now. And that's how I'm going to do. Because, I got to be myself. If you're not yourself, then you're not authentic. And I always value the authenticity of people who I talk to and myself, period. So without further ado, let's go into a couple of topics I want to talk about today. So I'm going to bring back quarantine again and all that good stuff. So just want to know, everybody out there, how y'all holding up, man? Because I know there's a lot of people with anxiety, a lot of mental health issues that's quarantined. And then what helped them was getting out of this. And let you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you're not in this by yourself. There are hotlines out there that you can call. There are people you can call your friends, your family, and friends and family of yours. Check up on a person that you know may have some type of mental health issues. Because you know what? All it takes is that, how you doing, what's going on, that little conversation to have could talk someone off a ledge, man. Because honestly, even if you don't have mental issues, this stuff right here could probably mentally damage you also. But and that's another thing I just thought about too. After all this, how many people probably gonna need psychiatrists just to sit here and say, "Yo, I can't believe I went through this." I mean, us '80s babies, we've been through a lot. '80s and below, we've been through a lot of stuff, economic crashes, et cetera, et cetera. And we're not even 40 years old yet. Some of us ain't 40 years old yet, and so we built Fort tough. You know what I'm saying? Or if you from Brooklyn, we built Brooklyn tough. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you have or know anybody who's dealing with mental issues and stuff, just check on them. That's all we gotta do, ladies and gentlemen. Also, for those people who are quarantined, what are y'all doing to keep sane? I know for me, I'm doing this. I decided to do a podcast because after looking at podcasts and seeing everybody do this type of stuff, I wanted to do it myself because it seemed fun. And, it was just something that was in my mind as a project. But now since there's nothing else to do but work, I just decided to do this. What are y'all doing, man? Because mentally, we need to be busy because that's just how the human body is designed. The human body is designed to do stuff. If you some other people who I know who is used to being home and not doing much, then it's the perfect opportunity for you to shine right now. Tell everybody, yo, listen, I was born for this. But if you're not that type of person that goes out and to do stuff, I feel sorry for you. But there's hope, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, this is, as far as it is, it's looking bad. It's almost over to what they'll call a new norm. And, it's just adjustment because we're all human beings, man. We're made to adjust. Some of us just don't want to accept it. We just got to accept the changes that's going to happen. But yeah, what are some of the things that y'all doing to keep your minds off of it besides killing your spouse if you live with them? Speaking of spouses, how's those relationships handling in there? I know everybody who's either shacked up with someone is ready to kill them, or someone who ain't shacked up with somebody, they can't wait for this is over to see them. You know what I'm saying? And, just be smart about it, ladies and gentlemen. Take whatever precautions you need to take to see this person because you never know how long this is going to end. And for some of those people out there like me, I just have the ending sometime like in end of this year. That's what I see this as. That's just my personal opinion. Don't have to be your personal opinion. That's just something I truly just telling my mind because they keep extending this pushback to opening up months and months and months, and already they canceled some of the pools. They canceling schools. They canceling a whole lot of stuff and sporting events. So I'm not surprised anymore. That's just the whole thing. If we keep getting pushed back, so let's just hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. We'll almost do this thing. You know what I mean? So, what kind of music y'all listening to right now? Is it like a quarantine type channel where it's like they give you stuff that want to stay home? Because me, I just listen to my regular playlist. I don't listen to radio no more because the radio is just playing the whole same damn songs. You know what I mean? Like they're playing like the same 5 songs in rotation hours apart and just different features and different ways of playing it, different positions. But that's just me. I'm not one for the radio anymore. I like my playlist. Listen to what I want to play, what I want to listen to on my playlist. You know what I mean? So that's that. I want to talk about something that not many people know about me. That is, I am a part-time gamer. I'm not a full-time gamer because I'm not that type of person that get online, tell us boys, yo, let's go play Call of Duty, let's get, these wins and et cetera, Unless it's just like one of those, like, we just doing it for fun. I don't like to be one of those people that play, hardcore and doing all this other stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm a part-time gamer, and I got to be honest with you, the day is exciting because it brings back some childhood, teenage memories of mine. And, today was the release of Streets of Rage 4. And if you're an 80s baby like me or just play video games like me, you know what the significance of this game is. Because, Streets of Rage 4, if you played the first 3, you know why you're excited for 4. Because, like, 4 is supposedly the final one out there. But it's like, I don't think it's not the final one because I haven't played it yet. I downloaded it, but I'm not playing it just yet. Probably after this podcast recording, I'll probably play it. But yeah, it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up action game that you take control of like a multitude of characters in it, and you just go do beating up street punks trying to reach the boss, who's a crime boss trying to take over the city, and that's just the gist of it. I'm quite sure there's another backstory to this, but yeah, but that's one of my favorite games as growing up as a child, Sega Genesis, back in the day in the early '90s. I don't have a favorite system, ladies and gentlemen. Since I like all games, all platforms, I love them. Even Nintendo Switch, even Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, I love them all because each game and system has something the other one don't, and some of them don't have anything that they don't. You know what I mean? So that's why I like all. I'm not a specific, station person. Like, yeah, I got a couple of boys who say, yo, strictly PlayStation. There's some people I know who strictly Xbox. And, being a family guy that I am, who has a daughter, I don't mind playing Nintendo because, I'm always going to be a Mario fan at heart. You know what I mean? Mario's just been there since I was growing up. And I'm quite sure a lot of 80s babies can attest to that. So I'm always going to have a Nintendo somewhere, you know what I mean? And just because, we can play Just Dance and Mario Party with my daughter. So that's just great also. And also what is out now. If a lot of you guys are familiar with video games, then you know about Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is awesome, man, by the way. I downloaded it and I started playing it a little bit. I was like, oh my God, this is better than the original. This is not, let me rephrase that. It's not better than the original. This is, it's gold. Like, the combat system is so much easier to handle. The characters are so well-rounded and very greatly detailed to the original one. So yeah, I'm a little excited about that, and I could start playing it because that just brought back memories too of my teenage childhood years. And if for a lot of you don't know, Final Fantasy VII is a role-playing game, RPG for short. Which if you're a person like me, like adventure, leveling up to get a higher level to make your character stronger, then that's the game for you. I might just go out and say this over a whim that hands down, that Final Fantasy is the best RPG game out there. I mean, this is not like no promo. But I'm just saying that's just from my heart. Yeah. So what games are you guys playing, man? Let me know. Like I would be interested to hear like what games you playing if you're playing any games. Even maybe we might be playing board games if you're 80s baby like me. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be playing travel. I mean, Scrabble. Sorry, not travel. Scrabble. You could be playing tic tac toe, Connect Four, stuff like that. You could be playing all that types of stuff. Well, let me know what y'all think and what y'all playing. Okay, now let's get on to the sports part of this podcast. And now I'm going to change it to Coach J. So the world of basketball is at a standstill right now, and the world of sports is just literally at a standstill right now too. So the latest news I saw is NCAA is finally going to let kids make money off their likenesses. And for those who can't see me right now, I'm giving them the really. It took you for the NBA to sit here and sign prospects to almost $500,000 contracts for y'all to really realize, you know what, we could be losing whatever we can be revenue if we don't change the game up. This is something that should have been in place for years. I've always been an advocate for like college players should be getting paid because it make no sense for you to go to school, learn all this stuff, get hit with like $20,000 worth of student loan and debt and all that other stuff, man. Just to sit here and go to a school, play for a school, and possibly win a championship or get the school recognized to get more money, and they're not helping out with you. You know what I'm saying? They want to say, and then some people are just sitting here saying like, oh, but they're getting a free education and and this and that for some athletes, but not all athletes get a free education when you play for a team. Some of them guys got to fight for scholarships, and there's limited scholarships on each team in basketball, if you must know. It's not like football where you can have like 20 or 30 maybe scholarships. A football, I think it's like maybe 7 or 8. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I will let you. But probably my next show I'll talk about it. But yeah, so and it took them for the NBA. It took the NCAA to look at the G League and be like, you know what, we're gonna lose people. Let's start doing that. Like, come on. And that's why I give Adam Silver a great big thumbs up on this because he recognizes that student athletes should honestly be able to make some type of money and go to school at the same time, which is part of that program he has going on is that you're besides getting a healthy contract, the NBA is paying for your education. That's right. You also are going to be going to school if you choose so. Well, I would choose so. Just because NBA is they're paying for it, I might as well make something out of it too because you never know. That could also lead to making even more money. Just a little free speech right there, a little free game as they call it. But yeah, so shout out to the NBA, NCAA. I don't know why it took y'all this long, but I'm glad y'all starting to get on the ball. But even though I know there's some stipulations and stuff that's probably going to come with that, so but y'all on the right track. Y'all at least get applaud for that, But all right, so yes, so that was my take on that. And now our talk to NBA is going to be coming back soon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Although there won't be no fans in the stands, which is kind of crazy because, like, I don't know how that's going to be. That's going to be like playing rec ball at a gym where you just sitting there and people on the sidelines are saying, oh, we got next or something like that. Unless they could probably synthesize a crowd sound with the sound system, which would probably be crazy also. But, I mean, I'm glad as a basketball head to see this happen because we need some type of sports right now. Sports should be some type of remedy. Sports need to be a remedy right about now because we need it. Well, us fellas need it, and we need a distraction, ladies and gentlemen. So that was my take on the pro sports world. Let's go down to some youth basketball that I love to talk about right about now. Kids, what are you guys doing right now? Because I know it is a quarantine. You really can't do stuff, but are you guys staying prepared? That's right, because you never know if an AAU season is going to happen. Right now, it's on postpone, and hopefully we could get like 1 or 2 events in. I hope there's some of basketball being played, and that's just it. I hope that you guys are staying ready to play. One thing I could probably give you guys some advice on is I hope that you guys are watching a lot of film. And what I mean film is like maybe your old high school games, maybe some other games, maybe whatever you got that that you play ball in. Always ask your coach. There's coaches out there who film games and ask them, yo, coach, can I get that film? I want to see, film basketball film is such a lost art that a lot of people do not take advantage of. Like I don't understand. Like, you know what I mean? I'll come from that era where we looked at game film in college to, to see what this opponent was about. We had game film sessions. And that helped us out a lot, and it also helps you out because you can see like maybe if you made a mistake on a play before, be like, okay, maybe I made a mistake on this play, but now I see what my mistake was. I can see what my coach was telling me. Now I can do this. So that's one of the low key tools that will help you succeed in any aspect of basketball. Because even the pros do it, overseas pros, college, any level does films. So just keep eyes on that, ladies and gentlemen. Also, guys, what are you guys doing to further help yourself get better? Because like even though it's quarantine, you can still go for a jog. You can make a room in your house to do push-up workouts and everything like that. Just don't be on Fortnite all day or what is it, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, or NBA 2K, or even on your phones, guys. Like, come on. You can do so much more with your time. And that is it. It is your time. Don't let nobody else tell you it's your time. This is your time to shine. This is the best part that we have. Literally have a break. Some of you are getting homeschool, video school, which is good, which is dope. And some of you are, even though you're not really getting homeschooled and video chat, whatever it is y'all going with y'all schools, this is a great time to get on the ball, like basketball wise. I'm not saying that you should just not be educated, not continue education. Still study for that too. You got to balance. Student athlete life consists of balance. You gotta have balance in your life. You got to be able to go to school, get what you got to do done, and you got to be able to physically perform. So, and I hope you guys are getting a lot of sleep too. Even though y'all say, oh, I sleep when y'all hear these people like, I don't know what sleep is, et cetera, et cetera. Ladies and gentlemen, physically, you need your rest. Your body has to replenish all the energy and stuff that you worked out. You know what I mean? It got to recover. Sleep is a good recovery tool. So, 6 to 8 hours. I don't want to hear that you're sleeping for like, oh, I took a nap for 2 hours. Power naps are good, but they're not recommended unless to replace sleep. You need your full 6 to 8 hours sleep. You get full 6 to 8 hours sleep, you'll feel different, you perform different, and there's just been science to that proved that athletes who sleep more, they perform better under circumstances. So yeah, that's my little take. I hope you guys are ready whenever this thing is over with. I hope it's soon, cause man, like me, I was looking forward to AAU season so badly because like I'm able to coach my own team, get my own team. I was looking for that challenge. It was a challenge for me, because the main thing is like I could sit here and not have a kid go to NBA, but if he's turns out great as a doctor, a scholar, he sit here and say, "Yo, thank you for telling me not to give up on yourself, Jay, Coach Jay." Then I'll feel way better than that. I will feel way better than having someone go to the NBA and be like, "Yeah, because of Jay." I don't. My reward coaching is to help you get better. That's my overall reward. I'm not saying that going to the NBA is a bad thing. I mean, I would love that. I would love to have a kid under me that says, I taught him, I trained him, I helped him with life, and he makes it. I would love that, but at the same time, I want whether you become a full-fledged positive role model in your community or positive role model. Period. Whether it's getting a job, finishing your education, whatever it is, I just want that for you. I don't want no fame. I don't want no story about how I coached you. No, I don't want none of that. I want you to be a successful human being. That's what I want. If I'm coaching girls, if I'm coaching men, young men to make them, businessmen, that's good. That'll help me out. That's how I feel about that. Cause I just like I see a lot of coaches out here making promises to these kids that, I could give you the world, I could do this, just come to my camp, my club, I'll make you a killer, et cetera, et cetera. And half of these coaches be frauds. Not to say all of them are frauds, some of them are frauds. Like, you got to sit here. This is my thing, right? If your program's so big and so, whatever it is, the kids will come find you. You don't have to go look for the kids. The talent will come to you. But then there's a lot of programs out there who only recruit A1 talent, which, there are a lot of diamonds in the rough out here, man. There is competition. We in New York City, ladies and gentlemen. We in New York City. This is literally the home of basketball players. New York City breed basketball players. If they're not ready now, they will be. The challenge of a coach is to bring out your best potential. That's the overall challenge of a coach. If I can't bring out your best potential, then that's just not, then I failed my job. There are coaches out here who wants the finished product but don't want to go through the process. And of course, everybody would love that. But you know what? I think the real challenge for a coach is if I could take, matter of fact, let me rephrase that. The challenge for me, if I could take someone who don't have skills, develop them, work them out, and they become that type of the diamond in the rough that we're looking for, then that I succeeded as a coach. That's where I'll take pride in. I would succeed as a coach, So that's my take on that. Not everybody is born a superstar, but you can work to become a superstar. That's always what I've been telling kids. Like, if you work hard, your work ethic is as big as your dreams, then you got nothing to fear. Another thing about youth basketball is, how can I say this? I don't understand the rankings, the high school ranking system. Like, who does these rankings for high school kids nationally? Like, I just wonder, because you mean to tell me just because this person is famous off of Baller's Life, Overtime, or any media outlet that covers, basketball highlights, they're hyping them up and they're automatically number one, the best player in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they work? Even though I just started really coaching high school basketball officially, 2 years, I'm still confused because, I'm New York City to the fullest. You know what I mean? I'm New York City to the fullest. We have so many studs in New York City that goes unnoticed in the national ranking just because we're in New York City. And, one of my podcasts, hopefully I get some, when I get some more people up here, I would like to have this discussion with a bunch of coaches to see their opinions, but not coaches from New York City, coaches from everywhere to have their opinion on talent, school kids, why is this ranking system the way it is? Because like I said, I'm New York to the heart and, prideful New Yorker. I don't go for all New York teams, but that's another different story. We have so many studs in basketball. I started getting into this. I started reading about kids, and it's crazy how a lot of these kids that's in New York City that's really, really good are getting left off these all-American lists on these all-American leagues and everything like that. How? These guys are so good. This nationally ranked teams that comes in, that New York and New Jersey schools go in and they play in these tournaments and they give them the work. So why aren't these kids nationally ranked? It's a personality thing. It's not personality. It's a popularity thing. That's just my take on it. Because we in New York, we got so much basketball pride. And that's probably another discussion I want to have. Why did New York fall off so much in the basketball area? We used to be back in the 80s, 90s. Coaches used to love to come to New York City and try to get one of us kids to go out there to play for his college and everything like that. It seemed like New York lost its edge because we just, honestly, another opinion of mine, we lost the edge because we're too much in competition with each other. There's one program and one trainer saying that this other program is not good for you. You should come with mine. It's just so much hate amongst coaches and trainers and programs. Why can't we unify? Just think about it. if we took the two best players from each boroughs, it's 5 boroughs, ladies and gentlemen, 2 players from each borough, won't we have a dope New York team of kids? You know what I'm saying? Instead of Bronx have all of them, Brooklyn come play with me, stuff like that. If we unified to have one good solid team in New York City to go represent us at like a national or something like that, I think we would kill a lot of this competition that's out there, you know. And then another thing also about the basketball, why are so many people, well, I kind of know the reason, but why are so many kids leaving New York City to play basketball somewhere else? There's a lot of great born and raised in New York City kids that went to prep school or another state to go play, I'm not knocking that, ladies and gentlemen, but we have so much good homegrown talent. It's crazy. And then, like I said, I think that was the hate in the competition that's in here, because it seems like New Yorkers always competing with each other, whether it's borough versus borough or county versus county, or even within inside the boroughs. We saying like, Bed-Stuy is better than Brownsville, etc., Williamsburg or Coney Island. We always in competition. We just not a unified Brooklyn or a unified New York City as that, because there's also boroughs who are saying who's better, like Queens, Manhattan, all the 5 boroughs. There's different wars within each borough. So, but a lot of kids are going to these prep schools and, and schools and high schools outside of New York City because of I think one is the parents, because New York City, honestly, is expensive to live in nowadays. And I don't blame them for wanting a better living. And because the cost of living down in like South Carolina, Virginia, and all these places, or anywhere outside New York City, it's way lower. That's one of my reasons, I believe. So, when I get a panel on here, I would love to have this discussion with like a lot of coaches. So that's going to be definitely dope. So, that's right. So, yeah, what do y'all think, man? My coaches out there, trainers out there, my New York City Ballers, what's going on, man? Why can't we unify? It'd be dope to see that one day. Okay, so one more topic I would like to calmly talk about. Well, I'm just going to call this segment, it's On the Block with Coach J now. You know what I'm saying? On the block. We going on the block. We in the neighborhood. What do we see? We see a basketball court with no hoops. And it's sad to say that because it's quarantine, all the city officials thought it was a good idea to take all the courts, the rims off the courts. So, but bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen. So I got a couple of tales of the old basketball hood I would like to share too. So, many people, like I said before, I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, Tompkins Projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it was just hoop heaven for me, like from growing up here and everything. It was just great, like here, man. And I often wondered about this too. And I just talked about it, which is kind of funny. I often wonder, like, why we never had like a Tompkins A team and a Tompkins B team back in the day, because we had so much good talent here that that we could have expanded out. Like Tompkins would have made a great AAU or basketball central right here, man. Like, we could have had it here. Like, I just was like thinking, like, how come we didn't have a Tompkins A, Tompkins B team? Instead, we had dudes from Tompkins playing with other hoods and going around with other tournaments and all this other stuff. But, it kind of made me think now that I'm older, like, why didn't we have a Tompkins A and B team? Well, I would love to. I'd love to get to the bottom of this. Hopefully I get some answers for y'all. But another thing about one of my stories of the hood is like, even though we was all balling, we all competed against each other. The one thing we didn't do is when we was out or in the tournament with something out, outside it, we never actually hollered at anybody. We never hollered at each other. We was brotherly, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll fight in the hood, but outside the hood, you ain't touching my brother. Listen, that's just how it was. Like, yo, you not touching him, because we all here. We all, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. That's how the brotherhood should be. We beat each other up in here because we want each other to get better. We have fights. We squash it out. And we play again the next day. That's how it should be. That's how it should have been. And another thing that used to kill me a lot It's like, why when you was younger, you used to lie about your stats a lot. Like, and that still continues to this day. Well, I can't really continue to this day because, like, now it's so much tech savvy and video stuff that we can actually prove that you didn't have it. Like, dudes used to boost they name, used to boost their points up. Yo, I had 40 today. Like, these dudes couldn't stop me. And we used to come back to the hood and say, "Oh, where you had 40? Word? Yo, we coming to the next game. We coming to support or whatever like that." And yeah, he only had 2 points. Why did we do that? Like, anybody wonders, like, why did we do that? Like, and then miraculously, that person had 40 the next game, and like, okay, we wasn't there. So now, why are you lying to us, bro? Like, seriously. Like, we know who we know the right people to ask. We went to the books. We know people. Like, it's just funny how people just used to lie about their point. We did a lot of silly shit when we was younger. I ain't gonna lie, but I was one of those people who I like playing ball in my hood, but I like traveling. So it's kind of crazy that I used to like traveling outside of New York City to go play basketball. As I got out of high school and everything like that, it become traveling more, like even going to different states to play basketball with different. Like it was always that, yo, there's a world outside of New York City, outside of Tongs, outside of Brooklyn, that exists with ball players that's good. I could learn from them. Like that's my thing. Like I would like to learn different stuff back in the day. So that was my thing. Also, I kind of brought dudes along with me too to these tournaments. Like if I had a tournament, like, yo, yeah, come play with me or whatever, I put on dudes to like different teams and stuff like that. And that was always a good thing because I like to have people who love to play the game like me play with me. You know what I mean? So, I like to hoop with me. Like, so that was my thing back in the day. And even though like sometimes I'd have been like this, like if I was working, like when I was on 20s and I was working, I would come home and like, yo, y'all dudes playing ball? Nope. All right, I'm gonna go to Bartlett Park. I'm gonna go to Queens. I'm gonna go to somewhere else in Brooklyn. I'm gonna go to Manhattan, Battery Park. Someone's hooping somewhere. I would grab my stuff and just go. That's just how much basketball I just loved back in the day, man. It's just not the same anymore, man. Like there's no, kids are not in outside, and there's no more street ball, no more like open rec ball, like no street ball we used to play. Like everybody wanted to play in the gym. Which as I got older, because I'm overweight and I have knees, my knee injury, I kind of see why we don't want to play on concrete because concrete really hurts you. But really, you think about it, you started playing ball on concrete first before you actually hit a gym. Some of us had that luxury of not having a gym. Some of us had the luxury of having a gym, I meant to say. And some of us had the luxury of not having a gym. When the basketball court outside was my gym. And that's why I went every day to practice, shoot around, and everything like that. I don't have the luxury of having a trainer or having someone that want to show me the ropes. I showed myself the ropes, and I learned from the OGs around here, man. Shout out to all my OGs out there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, there's something I would like to read. That kind of caught my eye one day. I listened to ESPN, and they said Pat Riley used to say this to his team, and it is called the disease of me equals the defeat of us. And what it is the six danger signals of the disease of me, which I find interesting because, you can actually apply this to life as it is too. Okay, number one, chronic feelings of underappreciation dash focus on oneself. Paranoia over being cheated out of one's rightful share. Number three, leadership vacuum resulting from formulation of cliques and rivalries. Number four, feelings of frustration even when the team performs successfully. Number five, personal effort mustered solely to outshine one's teammate. Number six, resentment of the competence of another. Yes, that why that caught my eye so much, ladies and gentlemen, is because when you're part of a team and you have those six characteristics, that means you're toxic to the team. And we're toxic to the team. When one fall, we all fall. That's just a team concept. There's no I in team, etc., and all that good stuff. And you can take that to any type of ship that you have, whether it's relationship, friendship, or anything going on. That's just one of the things that's just one of the things when it comes to the team. You can't think about I no more. You can't think about we. You got to think about we. So, as I wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to also give a shout out to all the frontline workers, the essential workers out there. You're not literally appreciated enough, man. Like, through this whole pandemic, everybody's been out there working and hustling, doing what they got to do to help us, either stay sane or be safe. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the essential workers out there. It doesn't matter what you do, but you're making a big impact, whether you like it or whether you don't hear it or not. And I truly thank all y'all essential workers out there. All right, everybody, that is it. I am about to sign off. What you think about the show? Oh, also, I like to, besides that, I forgot to mention in the first podcast, I am also on social media, Twitter and IG is Coach J. That's Coach JAY718 at Twitter at Gmail. At Gmail, sorry, at IG. Those are my handles. And my email address is coachj718 at gmail.com. So, if you have any questions, any critique, anything, contact me on there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Coach J Boogie, aka J, on the Bloc Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Stay blessed and less stress, ladies and gentlemen.